Okonkwo so that we don't look for the Chinese Ifeanyi.
Ifeanyi is Chinese.
So, given this scenario where people are just milling around, doing nothing, rather than cast their votes and either wait or go back home for the votes to be counted, what do you think is responsible for that, especially from the Newi axis?
The surge and people coming around Newi in particular is because there are two candidates from Newi that would have been responsible for the turnout. And then in terms of the management of election is different from INEC is not managing election because you are not supposed to mill around in that place. And you see sometimes you hear people say that after voting you stay there. I don't know what they are encouraging the people to form a mob or to form another college, because if you vote, you go away, because the system will produce the required result. But for you to go there and midwife and stay, and so these people milling around are the pressure groups. They want to see how they can build a consensus among the two candidates or the other who are we going to. And remember, name is still a rustic village. So the villagers, they come from their villages and some of them assembling there. They're not supposed to assemble there because that will be interfering with the mechanism for democracy.
But Caleb also mentioned about, some of the voters not going to vote, possibly because they're waiting for incentives. So I'd like to hear what you think about that.
That will be unverifiable. Because I know our people, they are still a village. Maybe they're waiting for everybody to assemble, and then they start going to take the ballot. But they are not supposed to do that within the percent of the voting. If they are voting there, maybe there's an instruction from those bribe givers for them to gather themselves there so that they will give them signal where to go and collect their allegiance. So the interpretation that they are waiting, they ought to be leave the precinct so that they don't influence people who want to come and vote. But the way your reporter have he has not been able to accost any of them to find out why should they be grouping around the voting precinct without actually performing their job and their duty and leaving the precinct. But like they keep telling them, after voting, stay there. So those conflicting instructions.
Even with that, we are now drifting away. We are now trying to look for a beautifier to qualify vote buying.
The reason why vote buying has continued has been now our voting system has been commercialized. Is that the ineptness of the political system. One, for you to come to vote, you must be persuaded by something. It's either you're a member of a political party or that you're a member of the community who believe that there's a program you need to support your vote for any of the parties. But because of unemployment and hardship, politicians have now introduced fun by coming in to give people money. Without thinking, they want to collect that money because the system of politics we are playing is not the type of democracy you will be proud of, where we have restriction. One, the system is not open and fair. You said this time around you zone the office. If you zone the office, those other people who would have brought competition are eliminated. You're not looking for the best anymore. You restricted the choice for the people. Not necessarily that that will bring, because our people are thinking in vernacular. They think that this zone will bring order. In lack of the necessary credential for you to be on the ballot, for you to become a candidate of a party, the only consideration in Nigeria is one consideration, that you are rich. None of these politicians will tell you where their constituency is. The constituency is your strength. The youth, the intellectual group, the working class, and the women. No program for the women, nothing. Accountability is completely absent. A government that has run 4 budgets, no balance sheet on the table. So that is why all these things strive. It will not change very soon, because if you have a political constituency, you will say, look, hey, the civil servants will vote for this candidate because he has program. He has told them about their welfare. He has told them about their payment system. He has told them about training and opportunities and the rest of it. And he has been able to give account on things that are very dear to their heart. Housing, transportation, the road network, what you will do. You don't have to be governor to have an idea of what the machinery of government is. Government is like the way we run our families. If you don't keep your books well, then you don't, your family will not feed well. But if you apply your resources well and live servicing social relationship and do all this, so you need a disciplined leader. So tell me who the civil servants are supporting in the next election. We don't know, because there's nothing on the table for them. That's why we continue repeating this. And somebody will tell you this person is a professor. I just laugh at them. I will start by how you manage your small family. If you're a leader, you have a driver, you have a neighbor, and how do you relate with people in things? Do you consider, you see a rich Nigerian who will say he's a millionaire. His driver has no health care and he wants to be governor. So you're a rich man, you can't sick. How do you, because you say a rich man, you must understand the instrument of civilization, that you can buy insurance for them, you can make sure you pay them well, you can have a doctor designated that will treat them. All these things, you come out to tell me, I want to lead you. You will know in each local government how many public schools. The primary school is the responsibility of the local government. Then, if we have private schools, primary and secondary, what is the prospectus in your state for anybody to send a child to kindergarten? There must be a prospectus. That's why you are in government. What is the cost? So that government can supplement or give a grant to make things better. Even when you come out to tell me you bring a check of 1 billion, you give it to Roman Catholic. These people are just behaving like rustic villagers.
But most of the response about these vote buying allegations is the idea of it being motivational reward. So now the argument is they're not paying people to vote for them, but instead they are rewarding local governments that have massive turnouts of voters instead.
My dear, it shows the level of understanding of whoever that supports this idea. Giving gratification is it is a crime to promise me something if I vote. It's a crime because it's so mundane. What motivates people to come and vote is what interest do they have in not being in that office? What program within in the society? You now have the aged, people who have retired. You have the productive women who are still in their productive years. You have students who are in school. You have those who are finished and looking for job. You have these people. You must plan from the birth of a child to the day he died. You sit down and these things is not of course. The political parties have no faculty to deliver good governance. So all they do is they look at somebody who will come and say, the man has PhD, the man, this one is this. Where is the template of your leading the people? So with that, you create the necessary highway that will make people to come out and say, look, if this candidate is telling us that minimum wage will be 300,000 and he's able to work out and tell us how much are we generating from the data are there from the state. What will be, because they think that civil servants are not productive. The civil servants are the chemistry that will bring government to fruition. If you pay them well, they will make sure that people don't cut corners, so that the money will be there. You give them incentive to go on vacation, create all these things, give them allowances, make sure that they have credit, instead of all this money they are stealing. If you say that anybody who is from grade level 10 to grade level 15, that government have worked out an arrangement with the bank that you can get a master charge for 1 million revolving credit. There's something to look up to. All you do is tell them if they vote, you give them money. These people are pedestrian.
Well, we'll continue this conversation, but now let's take this. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it is fully prepared to conduct a credible and transparent election as voters head to the polls in Anambra State today. INEC Supervising National Commissioner, Ken Ukagu, gave the assurance on the eve of the election during an interview, stressing that all logistics and technical arrangements had been finalized. The Electoral Commission has been under pressure to guarantee a smooth and credible process following challenges experienced in previous polls, including late arrival of materials, malfunctioning of the bimodal voter accreditation system, and logistical delays. However, Ukagu dismissed concerns over possible glitches, saying materials and personnel will arrive early at the polling units. He also confirmed that INEC was prepared for a possible runoff in line with electoral laws. According to him, electoral materials have already been distributed to registration area centers across the state, with vehicles and personnel on standby.
Well done. We've seen some people have already voted, while some are delaying voting. That's when you talked about breaking down the levels of what proper incentive can do to good governance. It's amazing how those in power do not think in that direction.
The intellectuals are not in politics. That is one.
So how do we get these intellectuals into politics?
For example, I'm an activist. You need people who will believe in working a model, making something to happen. It is not a walk in the park. Until a visionary leader takes position either in his family, either in the community, then he will bring a transformative agenda. I am looking at a situation where the balance sheet of the state is not anywhere near an issue in the election. So all the monies, how have you used it? Because this is the question time to find out, in terms, if a state have gotten 100 naira and you have 21 states in that 21 local government, by way of percentage proportion, allocation of fund, and benefit to the communities, we can trickle and trace it to so and so has gone to Onitsha. In Onitsha, this is where we put Onitsha's money. Then you go to name, so and so has gone to name, in the name, this is where the majority of the money is spent. We have, our phone can do these things. The civil servants are there waiting to be energized, mobilized, to bring these data and put it out. Government is not about occultic. Everything is transparent, because the Igbos have a saying that you don't need to steal. Once you put a machinery of system of government in place and the people see that it's working, the people will say, look, we believe this person can deliver. Not that this man has PhD. It's sickening, because some of us cannot run our homes. So it is a critical point that the political parties must have men and women that will go and use information to create the database for the people to see. Every day we are talking about road. If you are building road today, what is the standard of road? Anybody that is building any road that transcends between two communities without a sidewalk for cyclists and the rest of them, you're a primitive person. So, and who are a government must sit down to look at how to lift the economic disposition of the people.
Just with that thought, let's join Aloysius Sata, who is the